Record, the movie podcast where Sean
and Michael
watch shit, talk shit, and most importantly, eat shit. We are the law.
And guess what we saw?
I'm ready to guess.
Was something good.
Well, it is Carpentober.
Yes, welcome to the grand finale.
It's Carpentober.
It is.
And we watched...
a good one. We saved some of the best for last.
Yeah, and one of the worst. John Carpenter's The Fog.
The Fog.
Starring a lot of people.
John Carpenter.
John Carpenter's in it. Hal Holbrook.
How?
Hal Holbrook, are you? Janet Leigh.
Ooh.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Lee.
Tom Atkins.
Oh, yeah.
That may be most of them.
Yeah, other people. Nancy Loomis.
Buck Flower. He's one of the guys that gets killed in the beginning. He's in a lot of the...
Definitely glad his first and last letters, like initials, aren't switched, because that'd be fuck blower. That'd be pretty intense.
Well, hey, how you doing? My name's Fuck Blower. He does have the right voice for a guy named Fuck Blower.
Fuck blower. The two things I like most in this life.
Well, hell, there ain't no fog out there. Hey, Al, there's fog out there. One of the great bits. A lot of great bits in this movie.
Great bit movie.
Is this? I know that we're early in the podcast to talk about shit like this. Is this the funniest John Carpenter movie? No, I take it back.
Yeah.
Big Trouble's probably
Big
the
Trouble's
funniest.
amazing.
It's so funny.
I think this is
quite a funny
most. Yeah,
movie.
it's got a lot of good gags.
A lot of good jokes.
It's a goofy horror time.
It's surprising.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's a nice.
You're
one.
probably wondering what the plot is of John Carpenter's The Fog. Well, I'll tell you. This is what happens. They're on Montego Bay. No, they're on Archibald Bay. They're on Tampa Bay.
She said it 1,000 times. I cannot tell you what it was.
Hey, this is Willie Dilly on Bingo Bay.
Starbalarba.
They're on Bingo Bay.
Bingo Bay.
And you know what happened 100 years ago? A ship sank. We know that for sure because of the ghost story.
That's not good.
A ship sank and all the people aboard died. But spoiler alert, what we find out later is that this was an effort, a plan by the town elders to kill all the lepers who wanted to start a leper colony on Montego Bay.
It's not a good look.
Bowery Bay. Gamber.
What is it? It's so funny. It's just vanished from my brain.
Gordo Bay?
She said it 50,000 times in the movie.
Tweet at us at FoodCourtcast if you know what the name of the bay was.
Without looking it up.
Don't look it up.
We can look it up,
Yeah,
too.
we could look it up and we would know, but...
This is an honor system with the kill donkeys.
Yes.
Please tweet at us.
Yeah.
Email. Letter? We don't have a address.
You could send... Yeah, you could find...
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Send us a fax.
Man, I could spend an hour trying to guess it and I wouldn't guess it. Let's do that.
Yeah, just sit in silence for the rest of the podcast and just say different kinds of bays. So, they're at the bay. The people have died. They used to have Old Bay. Yes. They're at Cheddar Bay. Yeah, that's the best one.
Fog's
Okay.
rolling.
The fog's rolling in. Hey, this is Willie, and I'm going to tell you the fog's rolling in to Cheddar Bay. And there's leper pirates in the fog. Okay, so there are leper pirates in the fog. And between the time of 12 and midnight, that is when the 6 town elders came up with their plan to light a fire and turn off the lighthouse so that the ship smashed into the shore and sunk to the bottom of the sea floor. And then they all died, and then they stole the rich leper's gold and used it to build the town. And, spoiler alert, cool cross.
Yeah, they turned into a cool cross.
Golden cross. And it's about so many things.
Ugh. It's about lepers.
It's about Adrienne Barbeau, who runs a radio station.
It's
in a lighthouse. She's cute. And she's also like, hey, I'm here to turn you on all night. She's got like a really horny jazz radio station, which is pretty
it's
cool.
amazing. And she has integrity even when she's on a phone call.
Yeah.
With people during a dire situation, she's like, hold on. Gets back to it. Goes back to the voice.
That was Jimmy Jommy and the Fringles with their song from 1927, Bip Bop and Ram Dam. Up next is Corny Coblin from the Frankincense Boys telling you 2 times, come on back, come on back. And don't worry about the fog yet, because I haven't figured out it's full of murderers.
Anyway, what were you saying about your friend who died and got back up?
He had both of his eyeballs stabbed out.
I love how they... Okay, well, we won't get there yet. Anyway.
And the fog comes in. Well, before the fog even really comes in, late one night, on the birthday of Agabad Bay, Cheddar Bay. On the birthday of Cheddar Bay. Shit starts to go down. In one of the classic John Carpenter long opening credit sequences, maybe not as good as the Prince of Darkness long opening credit sequence, but it is long. It's very quiet. There's like just a few like jumpy, scary things, but mostly it is just weird shit happening. Honkings, lights going on and off, stuff rattling, stuff's going squeaky,
things breaking.
And the next day, we wake up, and it's fine. Everybody's planning the Cheddar Bay Centennial. Janet Leigh, who is obviously, as we know now, Jamie Lee Curtis's mom.
That's wild.
She's one of the ones setting up the Centennial, getting all the shit. There's a big statue of the boat for some reason, which is pretty a little weird.
Yeah, they want to celebrate a boat.
Yeah,
they love it.
And there's a few stories. There's the Adrienne Barbeau story. She's at the radio station almost the whole time.
Yeah.
There's the Tom Atkins and Jamie Lee Curtis story where they like to fuck.
Yep, hitchhikers.
Balls deep.
She hikes, and he likes her, and they get together. I love it. Bring it back. Let's bring that back.
Yeah, nobody ever hitchhikes and immediately has sex before they even know each other's name anymore.
Yeah, bring it back, baby.
That's some of the best jokes are in there.
They all have to use the hitchhiking dating app.
Yeah.
It's like... That just takes away the mystery.
Just meet someone in the real world at the side of the road. And let a man pick you up.
Show him your art. And don't charge him.
Don't charge him. Give it to him for free. The price is love. Let him bang you. And then he'll bang. But you both get something out of it because you get to get banged.
And he invested in art.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
There's no better gift than that.
Yeah. And then another story is Janet Leigh and her secretary being annoyed at each other. Then there is Adrienne Barbeau, Willie's son, who is up to some shit.
He's a good kid, but he likes to...
He's a scamp.
He wants to get out there. His mom's like, don't get out there, but...
Whenever he sees a gold coin, he's like, oh, I sure would love to grab that, but then it turns into a piece of wood. Little known fact about this poor boy. And then basically, it's nighttime, and a bunch of bad shit happens because the fog is literally full of pirates.
Leper pirates with hooks.
They have lots of cool weapons. There's like a guy with a sword. There's a guy with like one of those hooks that you use. I know what you did last summer, hooks. There's another guy who's got sort of like a scythe almost.
Yeah, some kind of
like it's got like one of the it's a little angled, little curvy scythe,
sharp,
but it's short. It's not like the death scythe that's really long.
Right. That would be amazing.
It's like the sickle from the Soviet flag, kind of. He's got a nice sickle.
These are Soviet lepers invading U.S. soil.
What does it mean, man?
What does it mean?
And Hal Holbrook is kind of hanging around in the church because apparently they couldn't afford to take him to other places.
Yeah, he can only
they had to shoot him for like 3 days inside of the church.
Probably.
No, that's apparently true.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow, that's crazy.
They're like, well, we'll just meet him in the church because we cannot afford to bring him to places. Yeah.
Let's come. We'll just make your house look like a church. He's like, that's cool.
And they all come together and then the fog comes, and then Hal Holbrook, father somebody, is he sacrifices himself, but he doesn't. Or doesn't he?
Or doesn't he?
We see more fog and splash.
Splash.
And that's
Slash. It. Father got
his ass
killed by a pirate.
by a leper.
Leper pirate.
Tweet at us at FoodCourtCast if you want us to say anything else about the fog.
Yeah, and
we're waiting.
Yeah, we're still waiting to hear what the name of the town was.
What was it? Was it Cheddar Bay?
It is crazy to me that it is just gone from my brain. I'm blown away.
Cheddar Bay.
Cheddar Bay.
I'm Cheddar Bay.
Way by Cheddar Bay. In this motherfucker day.
Okay. There's obviously plot points in this movie.
Yes.
But there's also best parts of this movie.
There's best parts.
Yeah.
And there's also just the whole, looking at it as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've seen this a couple times. You've seen it probably many.
I've seen it 4 or 5 times probably.
This was my second time, I think, ever.
It's a good flick.
I loved it. Classic.
Isn't it a great
it's just
movie?
Fun. You're just like, from the time it starts to the end, you're just like, this is just a fun ride.
It's weird because this is maybe like the 10th best John Carpenter movie, but it's so fucking good.
This is a good time.
And I think it is. Now, this is the case with any sort of underappreciated movie in someone's. It's like right after Halloween.
Yeah.
It's right before Escape from New York, I think.
Oh, right.
So it's just like.
Wow.
I mean, it's obviously not forgotten since we're talking about it, and it's a pretty famous movie by a pretty famous filmmaker. But it is. I feel like it. I've definitely seen people rag on it.
Really?
They've been like, the fog.
Forget about it. It's a great flick.
Yeah, exactly.
Dummies.
It rules.
Yeah.
It is particularly scary.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of really good jumps.
Yeah, it's like, ooh.
Lots of really good jumps.
It's creepy.
There's
a good bit with the knocking at the door every time the ghosts show up. You're like, oh my god.
Carpenter talks a lot about how he wanted to be sort of similar to old, like 30s and 40s horror movies.
Yeah.
Kind of old dark house movies, but it feels kind of like that.
Absolutely.
Where there's just like. There's someone, who's that knocking on my door? Like that kind of, like it starts with an old dude telling a campfire story. And the rest of the movie kind of feels like he's still telling that campfire story.
Yeah, I think they nailed that vibe. I was like, oh, this is really nice. Like, is it Eggers who does like kind of folk horror?
Yeah.
It feels like that, like in that kind of vein. Like, I wanted to like hone in on a very specific type of scary story.
Yeah.
Make that, and I thought it was so fun.
It's also quite yucky, which is nice.
Yeah.
Apparently, they had mostly finished shooting it, and they were like, "Oh, this isn't scary at all." So they like had to go out and shoot more violence and stuff. At least according to Carpenter. I don't know if this is actually true, but Carpenter said like, "Oh, no, actually, I think Deborah Hill, who produced and co-wrote it, said." Cronenberg's scanners had come out, and they're like, "Oh, this seems like a little quaint now because it's like so old-timey. So maybe we should kick up the violence a little bit."
Which they did.
Yeah, they really did.
And they do a good job of like just a lot of implied violence.
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh, that was bad."
It's very yucky.
That would be horrible.
To be stabbed in the eyeball.
Honestly, a lot of times the imagination version is so much worse for me. I'm like, ooh, I don't want to think about that.
Yeah. But the best part.
Oh, yeah, the beef lamb gyro.
The very best part of this movie is, Michael?
My favorite part of this picture, The Fog, John Carpenter's The Fog.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to say it. I don't want to say it, but the part, it's at the end, big spoiler, when Father, whatever his face, is holding the giant golden cross.
Yeah.
And the captain of the Leper Pirates grabs it.
Yeah.
And they have this crazy rig where like the cross starts glowing, and it just looks so cool. It's like such a cool effect.
Awesome.
I was like, whoa.
It's like, really fucking cool.
And it's like the symbolism and all of it. It's just really fun.
Yeah.
Like a golden cross is just like, that's such a, like kind of like American thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it makes sense.
It's a good metaphor.
The business, yeah.
The whole thing is, I don't know if it is intentionally so, but it probably is since most of Carpenter's movies are kind of thoughtful.
Yeah.
It all seems like pretty, like, this is America. We killed a lot of people to live on this land kind of
basically.
thing. I mean, it's not that on the nose.
Yeah, but
like, it's not like the pirates are somehow Native American or something, but it's just like, oh yeah, you know, we had to kill these people in order to have our wonderful town.
yeah, and then like filling the church, like hiding the gold in the church, and even melting it down into like, it's like people wearing like diamond encrusted cross necklaces and stuff. You're like, what?
Yeah,
what
that's what the Lord would want.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
You know what the best part of this movie is, in my humble opinion?
Yeah, please tell me.
My opinion.
Yeah,
now you think
I told you
think the cross is the best, which I think is up there. But I think that the fog effects are really good.
Yeah, I love them.
And sometimes sort of magical.
Absolutely.
Like, there's lots of like distant ones that are really cool, and you know they just did some composites with like real
really
stuff
fun.
and like this glowing fog moving in, and that looks great.
The way it interacts with like the landscape, though, I was like, I don't know how they actually did this.
It seems
very
like
cool.
They're very smart.
Old movies compositing, like nowadays we're just like, oh, they just composited it. I'm like, yeah, but how? Because I do editing, and I'm like, I don't really know exactly how they did that. It's pretty amazing.
They did a little explaining. Now, it's not that helpful when I actually think about it, but the way they did it is they kind of had, like, okay, there's the one main shot is, like, we see a curve of a little point.
Yes.
And, you know, we see a little hill, and we see the fog coming in, and it's glowing. And apparently they, like, had, of course, the main shot was that actual place with actual waves crashing. But the plate they shot or whatever to put in the fog had like a velvet version of the coast.
Whoa.
So it didn't show up when they were shooting
That's wild.
So that the fog could still move around the hill.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Really cool.
Because I was like, how did they get it to go around
It's
the
really
back
cool.
of That's so smart.
It's so cool.
That was a little inside scoop.
It's so cool. And in general, like there's so many times, like there's lots of times when the fog is moving, you're like, oh, okay, that's probably moving backwards, so it's moving like that. But there's also some times when there's cool lighting effects where like maybe they're using shafts of light or they're just using like very specific points of light where like the fog will sort of emerge in a way because it just hits the light or whatever in just the right way, so it's just like but there's I don't know if they're just playing with speed or whatever, but there's some times when it's like moving towards you and you're like, oh, this is really like spooky
going on.
It's this. And there's times when it's like spilling over hills in just the right way.
The part with the lighthouse where she looks up over the hill and it like it looks like it's so cool because it's not just like a bunch of fog. It's like this like angled like
it's like a little tentacle of fog. And
it's amazing.
And I mean, it's for something like that, which is you could easily fuck up.
Yeah.
Like in a movie called The Fog. Like there's easily the shitty version of this movie where it's just like the fog is moving and you know fog looks cool, but it doesn't look like it has any purpose. But like this fog looks like it's moving towards an objective.
Yeah, it's one of the coolest shots is early on that the fog goes around this boat.
Yes.
And it like there's a shot of it just sucking into the inside of the boat. It's like into like a box and then goes down to the engine. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
It also reminded me last week, Josh and I watched It Lives Inside.
Oh, yes.
Which is not that great.
Never saw it.
But there's like a big there's a big, I'd say, ultimate moment where the main character is like taking a demon into her body.
Oh, wow.
And the demon is turning into smoke and she's like taking it into her body. But it's like dumb CG smoke. And especially when you see that like in this movie, you have smoke come out of a box and then you reverse it and it looks awesome. It looks so fucking awesome.
Yeah, it looks
and you just
great.
think, well, just literally do that.
What they could have done is
Have someone vape
Have someone
and play
vape,
it backwards,
play
and
it
it'll look
backwards,
amazing.
And then shoot a plate of smoke.
Yeah.
And reverse it into their mouth.
Yeah.
That would have been way cooler.
Yeah.
What they doing out there?
Have some colored lights in her mouth.
Yeah. I mean, wish we would we've just completely, not all of us, but a lot of people, to just throw away even the idea of practical.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Just try something.
It wouldn't take that long.
No, even if you just don't end up using it, it's like, at least try. I don't know. It's just weird.
If you literally got a lady with like a red tea candle in her mouth and a vape, it would look maybe 1,000 times better than what they had.
Have her take a giant bong rip.
Yeah.
That's a lot of smoke. And it goes,
yeah.
And she's like, okay, first you gotta have her shake.
Yeah.
Then you gotta go, and then it'll go, it'll be cool. Do it.
Hollywood.
Hello? Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Are you in there?
And it is, yeah. So I love that. It's,
Me too.
I mean, you know, in the dark days we live in now, where everything is so stupid, and you see like another trailer of Brie Larson, like barely trying in front of a green screen.
Yeah, she's just like, yes, I am a hero.
Hey, yeah, I'm out in space as Ms. Marvel. Wait, is that my name? I don't even remember.
I don't care.
And like the cat has tentacles.
I wonder if she's the person who's been paid the most to just do so little. Like, just like, because I get it. She's despondent. We've talked about this before because she knows everybody just hates that character.
Yeah.
Or her playing it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, dude, you're making so much money. Just give it a shot. I don't know.
It's tough because, like, Vin Diesel sometimes feels like he's underdoing it, but it also feels like he's trying really, really hard to underdo it or something. So he may not come off as like he's definitely not phoning it in.
No.
But he's like overdoing it quietly or something. I don't know how he's doing it.
There's an art to that.
He's like doing that. And she's like, yeah, I'm a Ms. Marvel.
I'm a Ms. Marvel.
Am I?
Ms. Marvel. Vin Diesel is, there's an art to that type of acting. After I saw the last Fast and the Furious, I became a believer. It was like, oh wow, I am a part of this family.
I'm Jason Momoa. I'm Vin Diesel. I'm everyone.
I'm everyone.
I'm every woman. It's all in you.
It's all in me.
What else is good about this movie?
There's so many great bits. All of the fun horror stuff. The part where the guy on the ship gets like thrown against the wall and then his eyes just get plucked out. It's just like
fucked up.
Oh my. We don't see that weapon ever again. It's like a little.
Oh yeah.
Not trident. What do they call that? Like a.
It's just very pointy.
Yeah, it's like.
It's just like a big pointy metal thing.
Clink, clink, a pokey.
It's almost like there's a tool called an awl, but the awl is very tiny. It's like a huge what it is actually like is if you just took the I Know What You Did Last Summer hook and went and straightened it out.
Straightened it out. Yeah, that's
for the listeners. You straighten it out. That's the sound of straightening it out. Yeah, if you're like going into a pride parade and turning everyone straight, that's what it sounds like. You're like, hey guys, have you considered being straight? And they're like, oh, I hadn't.
Oh, that's a great idea.
People aren't going to be mean to me anymore for no reason.
Have you ever thought about how boobs are just balls, but on the chest?
Yeah,
less hairy. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm straight.
I'm in. Yeah,
I'm straight. It worked.
It worked. Thank you.
Great cast.
Great cast. Everyone's fun.
So many good. Oh, sorry. I need to go back to your comment about bits. There's a great bit. Maybe my favorite scare in the movie. There's a lot of good scares in the movie, but maybe my favorite. Tom and Jamie Lee, the new lovers, the hippie, dippy. It's weird because they're like working class hippies.
Yeah, I love it.
They're like, let's bang, but also let's go fishing. Doesn't happen much anymore. But
it does in my line.
Yeah,
man.
They are hanging out, chilling in the bottom of a boat where all the people who used to be on the boat have disappeared.
Yes.
And it's another part of the story that I like is that it's just like random spooky shit. Mm-hmm. It's like there's No, there's like a bottle. No, there's a can of Budweiser.
Yeah.
And he shakes it around and sniffs it, and he like pours it in his hand and licks it, and he's like, "Oh, it's salt water." And you're like, "Oh, wow, cool. That's weird." And he's like, "Everything's rusted out." Yeah, spitting it out. So they're sitting having a conversation. Tom Atkins is telling the story of his daddy and how they like saw a ship and or a boat, and they got onto the boat and no one was there. Ooh, and he had a gold doubloon in his pocket, and when he got home, the gold doubloon was gone. There's a lot of like, there's so much campfire story energy in the whole movie.
Yeah, I love that.
It's really cool.
What if the gold doubloon had turned into another giant piece of wood with the name of the ship
in his pocket?
Yeah.
Or there was a pirate inside of his pocket and it slashed him. The arm comes out and slashes his neck.
That'd be incredible.
And he's like, oh.
That would be an amazing bit.
Yeah, nobody does shit like that.
Oh, all right. That's
something in my pocket.
That would be amazing.
So they're in the boat.
Mm-hmm.
They're confused. And also, Jamie Lee's getting real spooked by this story.
She's like, ugh.
It's like, oh, they had to stop the boat, and there was no one on the boat, and they do that, and we see like a locker, and it's going squeaky. The little locker handle. What is the name of that thing?
Up.
Yeah, the thing that you have to push up to open a locker.
It's like,
is that the clasp?
The clank.
The clank. Yeah, you got to open the clank. The clank is going.
Open the clank.
And at the time you sort of expect it to, it goes and opens, and you're like, oh.
I was thinking a body was
really scary.
Yeah, I was like,
and like a bunch of maps or something come out, and she's like, well, I'm going back to Vancouver.
Yeah, that was
which is
amazing.
A great little joke. But what we don't know. Because John Carpenter's smarter than us, is behind a net is a dead body with its eyes jabbed out. So it just goes, and you go, oh, fuck.
It's such a good, because like, so they build the tension.
Yeah.
Boom. Oh my gosh, the locker came up and she goes, I'm going back to Vancouver. And there's a beat because you're like, oh, that's funny. They added the humor. Oh, and before you even process it, I was like, that's a great trick.
It's so good.
Really fun.
It's all put together so nicely.
Yeah.
And the entire set is really beautifully lit. Apparently they had the set moving, so the lights could look like it was really on a ship.
Yeah.
And, you see kind of Tom Atkins is moving in and out of the light as the boat is rocking.
That's such a nice effect.
And it's beautiful.
It's so funny. It's so magical. Because at no point was I like, oh yeah, they're on like a soundstage.
Yeah.
I was just like, they were on that boat.
It's
beautiful.
I mean,
it's beautiful.
The magic of cinema.
We've lost it. Most part, I think. We got to get it back. How do we get it back? It's so cool.
We just go, hey, like, what if...
We tried.
What if when people are outside, they're actually outside?
That would be cool.
And when people are inside, we either have them inside a place or we have them inside the set that looks cool.
Because we can build anything.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's so cool. After seeing, did you watch the rehearsal, that Nathan Fielder show?
No.
It's crazy.
I heard it's wild.
Little bit of a spoiler.
Oh.
They rebuild. So, like, to rehearse the scenarios, they rebuild real places, and it's like perfect replicas. And I was like, the fact that we can do this is so incredible.
Yeah.
Movies, like, let's really get back into how good we are, just like tapping into our creativity and making stuff. Like,
Hollywood,
it's so cool.
If you're listening,
please
just help us out.
Help us out.
I mean, I love watching your movies, even if they're real horrible, and I'll keep doing it. But if the mediocre ones were a little bit better,
just tone it.
And if the good ones were really good, and if the great ones were amazing, just like kick it up a notch.
Just a little bit. Just a little notch. Kick it up.
A little notch.
Just a little.
Just kick it with your foot.
Bam.
And then kick it up a notch. Another good scary bit. This is the same dead body whose eyeballs have been poked out.
This body gets a lot of screen time.
He's got a lot of good scares. And he's hanging out under a sheet, as you do when your body's been moved into.
Under a sheet. Under a sheet. Darling, you're deader.
Down where it's wetter. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey.
Down where it's wetter. In the autopsy, they find out they're filled with seawater. It falls apart, but it is kind of something.
It works.
I don't know.
I like it. I think it works.
Thanks.
They're under sheet. They do the thing where, for some reason, a body can move. Who knows why? And the body is slowly moving under the sheet. Nope. And there's a really good shot of his feet coming off of the gurney onto the floor. And Jamie Lee's just hanging out. She's like, I've really had a horrible experience. I sure am feeling disquieted, but I'm not really noticing anything in the room behind me. And the dead person has a scalpel. And as is the case with most of the scares in this movie, there's a loud, like, swish.
Yeah.
There's like, and we see the dead guy lunge at her, but it doesn't really do anything, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's just like...
All it does is use its last bit of, like, ghost power to carve 3 into the linoleum floor.
Crazy.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, that was such a cool shape. I was like, ooh. It's great.
What else?
Because as we... I don't know if we mentioned that 6 have to die.
6 must die.
There's a great scene where the is it Willie, the radio
Willie,
lady?
Yeah.
Her son, so he sees a gold coin and the water washes over and it's a big piece of the ship that says Dane.
Gandalf Bay? Is it Gandalf Bay? It's close to that.
Gandalf Bay. I don't know.
Cheddar Bay. Sorry. So there's a piece of wood in Cheddar Bay.
Yeah, down in Cheddar Bay. And so it turns it says Dane and the ship was called like the something Dane.
The Dibbity Dane.
I can't remember that either.
Dane, but Dibbity Dane.
I swear I watched the movie.
We know the general parts of the movie. There's actors in it. Yeah. They perform scenes.
But so
we're not supposed to be experts.
No, how could we be?
I've only watched it like 5 times. You expect me to know the names of the characters and the names of the places the characters dwell within?
I know the name of some real ships in real life, so that's cool.
Nina, Pinta, Santa Maria.
Titanic, the fourth ship. No one talks about. But so the lady brings the wood to her later.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, she brings the wood all right.
She truly... It's an entire part of her character is that, like, everyone is really horny listening to her radio show.
Especially the weatherman.
The weatherman is like...
The weatherman is one of the most... It's the saddest what could have been of all time.
Yeah.
And all because he was trying to be a cool dude and impressive.
Oh, yeah, I better check who's at the door. If he tries to fuck with me, you know I'm killing him. I don't care if he is a leper pirate.
He's not going to mess with me in my sweater.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm a fucking weatherman. Yeah, Does he know he's messing with? I'm a fucking weatherman.
I'm like God, dude.
I'm a small town weatherman.
Yeah.
Not on TV. It is just literally my job to...
Just watch the radar.
Yeah.
Whoop. Whoop.
Yeah, there it is.
That's a fog bank. Wait a minute, there's leper pirates. Like ding, 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 ding. Oh, like an Alien, that little radar. It's like, and it shows like the little dots. That'd be amazing.
They should have done that.
That is one of the coolest. Sorry, I know this has nothing to do with it. Alien has a lot of fog though in it.
Yes.
You know, a lot of
essentially the same movie.
Basically.
I mean, it truly is pretty similar.
Yeah, pretty. In Cheddar Bay, no one can
They're in space. I mean, they're in space, but it is, space is always an analog for water anyway.
Yeah, it's
pretty
the same
much
thing. But so she has this wood thing that says the name of the ship, and she sits it down this thing while she's listening to some promos.
The promos are ridiculous.
Like recordings. They're so funny.
At the top of the world, Cheddar Bay.
I love it. I guess this is like someone auditioning to maybe be a part of the radio station or something.
I'm guessing that it's just like she paid them $50 or something to make a bunch of things, and then she would keep them.
She's
or
like, it
some
can't
of them.
always be my voice. We
Yeah.
gotta change it up. But so she's listening to those, and this little wooden plank from the ship
Yeah.
starts leaking water in a really cool practical effect. I was
that's really
like,
cool.
ooh.
Yeah.
So it's so fun, and the water hits the recorder, and it's like albatross. It's just something crazy. Like, whoa, what's happening?
We fall to the bottom of the sea. It's something like that.
It's wild. But then the text, when she looks at the text of the ship, no longer says Dane, it says 6 must die. It's such, and it catches on fire. It's like, whoa. You don't expect something that's soaking to catch on fire. That was pretty cool.
You don't expect it to say 6 must die, and you don't expect it to explode.
Yeah.
And then she puts out the fire. The smoke of the fire extinguisher floats away, and it says Dane again. And
It's
you
back.
go, ooh.
That's freaky. See, stuff like that and the body getting up,
Yeah.
I would have been like, I don't need to do the radio job today. I'm going to go home and or go tell someone immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they don't, because it's a horror movie.
Yeah, she tells her son, hey, don't go outside tonight.
Yeah, don't pick up any more wooden planks because they're dangerous.
You picked up too much Ghostwood today, and it's fucking up my day.
That was the original title, John Carpenter's Ghostwood.
He's still got time. He's still alive.
That's true.
John, if you're listening,
Ghostwood.
we know you're one of the last good filmmakers who's still alive. You and Scorsese, and
Oh, wow.
that's it, I think.
Spielberg.
Yeah, that's true. He did
Spielberg?
make
I love
Fablemans.
his movies. Whatever. I know a lot of people don't like him. No.
Speaking of Spielberg, Dean Cundy, who shot this movie, was also the cinematographer of many Spielberg movies, including Jurassic Park.
I've seen. That's why I recently saw his name because I watched Jurassic Park. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dean Cundy.
It's another cool thing about the movie that is like doesn't really have any. It has an effect on the quality of the movie, but it doesn't really affect you while you're watching it that much. But like so many people in the movie are people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, obviously John Carpenter, who made the movie, is one of our favorites.
Yeah,
Deborah Hill, who produced it, produced a lot of his movies, but a lot of other famous movies. Janet Leigh was in Psycho. You know, Hal Holbrook was in All the President's Men. Like, lots of people like that. But also, like, Dean Cundy was the cinematographer for a whole bunch of great shit,
so
other
pretty.
than this great shit. Yeah.
Man.
It's a good-looking movie.
Just the way movies used to look.
It just all came together.
I can't get over it.
Now, there's plenty of movies that look like shit. But,
absolutely.
But
not as
not
many
quite.
as... No,
Not quite.
I don't know. But let me see what else. I really like Nancy Loomis, of course.
She's great.
She's great. Love her.
What a
Loved her.
cutie pie.
Oh, my gosh.
I've loved her.
I need to find a Nancy Loomis of nowadays.
Who's the Nancy Loomis? Hey,
Yeah, if you're Nancy Loomis.
tweet at us. If you look like... Maybe you're Nancy Loomis's daughter.
Yeah, maybe you
You're
are.
probably roughly our age.
That's bad. Hey.
Great idea.
That's a great.
Nancy Loomis Jr.
Let us know. But her character's awesome.
Yeah.
And there's a part where she's just like really like kind of snarky to the
Very.
old councilwoman
Very
lady.
snarky.
And they go to the church. It's one of my favorite parts. And she's like, you know, you're really annoying. And they knock on the door, and Nancy Loomis is like sitting there, and then the door creaks open, and they're like, there's no one there, and she goes, not a good sign, or something like that. Not looking good.
It's a really good line reading too.
I love it. It's really good.
Their back and forth is really
And then when they go in the church,
one of the great scares.
it's incredible. Like you hear like this like weird Christian murmuring. There's nothing creepier than that to me. And the lady's walking down, and she's like, "Father, whatever, are you here?" And then she's like looking. There's like darkness behind her, and she turns, and he like flies out of the dark. I was like, "Whoa!"
It's so fucking scary.
It was awesome. It's one of those things. It's like this only makes sense in a movie. Like,
Yes.
No one would just be in the dark.
In the total darkness.
But he's always drunk, so maybe he was.
Maybe he was just hanging out in the dark,
always in
just
that
whispering.
church. He never goes outside.
Fucking motherfucker. I think I drank too much money. I'm so fucking up. I shouldn't have done this. I'm a bad boy.
Yeah. I think he wanted the pirates to take him because he wanted to get out of that church. He was like, I want to see the world, man.
I wish I could see. I'm so near the water, but I've never seen it. So sad. It's a curse. But he does come out, and it's so scary.
Yeah.
And also, apparently, in order to do that, they had to do, like, optically darken that part of the frame.
I was like, how did
and then they, like, did, like, a quick bringing it up a little bit to have him...
There's no hint of him being there.
No,
like, whoa, my
not
God,
at all. Yeah,
yeah.
It's completely dark. And
that's
he comes
such a
out.
cool
it's
trick.
Really cool.
Yeah, I loved it. There's like a blanket, and they lift it up. Like
Yeah.
Go!
Hey there, I'm the fucking priest,
You looking for me?
motherfucker. But it can't all be good.
No, sadly.
I mean, we'll think of a lot of other stuff that's good as we're talking about the bad
Probably.
stuff. But the very worst part for me, there aren't many because I really think it's quite great.
But there has to be a low main.
The low main for me is not the music because I like the score.
Ding, 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 ding.
I think the Fog main theme is one of his weakest themes.
I can see that.
It mostly because it seems to meander. Like the Halloween theme is like it's like a turnaround. Like it does the same thing a few times and then it goes to a different thing and then it goes in and it comes back.
That is the best one. I don't think that's ever going to be beaten.
You can't beat it.
Horror. It's
You
just
can't
like,
beat it.
Wow.
But the Fog is similar in the way it's kind of put together, but it seems to just kind of go to different chords randomly, like just kind of up and down in a way that you don't entirely understand, and I just don't love it. But it is not in the movie very much.
No, just here and there.
In general, the score is pretty awesome.
I liked it.
It's just like it is very spare. Like, even more spare than the Halloween music. It is just rumble. And near the end, it is just loud, like, splash. Splash noises. And that is most of it.
Yeah, and there's fun radio stuff.
Some spooky piano. But, and a lot of jazz.
Yeah, a lot of jazz.
Maybe that adds to some of the funness of it.
I think so.
Is that you're just like...
Yeah, I got another 4 for you real quick.
Up here on Cheddar Bay.
Here on Cheddar Bay.
Is it a G or a B?
A G or a B?
I think it's a G or a B.
Oh, the town?
Yeah.
Gay
Bay. It's Gay Bay.
Come on down to Gay Bay.
It's gay as hell.
Yeah.
Which, back when this was made, is not great, but now that it's
awesome now.
It all came around.
It all came out.
Yeah.
Of the closet.
Speaking of this, you might know this. Have you ever been to Myrtle Beach?
I love Myrtle Beach.
Have you been to the Gay Dolphin?
No. What?
I've talked to a few people about
Is this a place or an animal?
It's both. Maybe this is something I have imagined, but I have been to there. I've been there in my adult life. In like downtown Myrtle Beach, right near where the fucking boardwalk is. And where the ride, what is the
Ferris wheel?
Yeah, the Ferris near where the Ferris wheel is.
Cool.
There's a store called the Gay Dolphin.
What?
And it is like, just where it's like another one of those t-shirt stores and stuff. Except it's slightly cooler because like there's obviously new weird neon t-shirts, but they also, as you like kind of go into the bowels of the store, have like old weird unsold t-shirts and weird license plate covers and stickers for your car, but that they all seem very old and weird, like they just never sold them in like 1997 or something. It's a great place, and it may not exist. If this place is real, tweet at us at Food Courtcast if you have been to the Gay Dolphin. Or it would be a weird thing for me to invent. To be like, oh, there's a place in Myrtle Beach called the Gay Dolphin where they have new and old kitsch from Myrtle Beach. But I believe it to be true.
It could be true. Gay dolphin.
Did I gaslight myself?
Maybe you mixed up the letters again. Day golfin.
Day golfin.
Day golfin.
Which is,
I'm going day golfin.
Day golfin is a it is for rappers who like to golf.
Yeah.
Day golfin, man.
Day golfin.
Day golfin. A great store where you can get
all your black golf needs. I mean, you don't have to be black, but we prefer it.
Yeah.
That's a sign over the door.
Yeah, we don't have to be black, but we prefer it. Why is that not a sign everywhere?
Yeah, it should be.
Just over every business.
That's a great, I mean, you'd get in trouble probably.
Yeah.
A bumper sticker.
You don't have to be black, but we prefer it.
I love it.
The gold teeth have little, golf balls on them and stuff.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, Afro pick that's like a T.
Oh, my God.
This is
brilliant.
Great. Okay. We're making a money.
Day golfing.
Day golfing, baby.
But that's a place. That's it. Why were we talking about that?
We just like to do that. Sometimes we'll talk about other things. I don't know why, actually. I can't.
What's the worst part of this movie, though?
Okay, the worst part.
I
for
said
me,
my worst part.
This is maybe reading a bit much into it.
No, say it.
But just thought the whole thing was kind of dumb. No, I'm sorry.
It is. I mean, it truly is kind of dumb. It truly is kind of dumb.
I love it. I love
it's
stories
awesome.
like this. No, but the problem I had with it, it was so focused, and this is probably budgetary. It was so focused on just the people it showed.
Yes.
That it felt like the town was just inconsequential.
Yeah, there is no town.
Because then it's weird because the lighthouse lady's like, it's rolling in, it's coming, but you're only focusing on 4 people, and you're like, is everyone else just not worried?
They're all dead.
Yeah, they all die. And the 6 must die thing, I kind of almost wish it wasn't there because the stakes go down because you're like, oh, well, they only have to kill one more.
That's true.
And you're like, why don't they just kill some random person on the street?
Yeah, they should.
So it was just a little bit off. So I think that was probably the lowest point for me. I was like, that kind of doesn't work, but
it is very silly.
Yeah,
because it's they're having this big vigil and they've got candles and stuff, and there's definitely 50 people there.
Yeah,
and they are all going on their vigil and walking past and seeing the boat. And then when they're like, "You gotta get to the church, save yourselves!" It's literally 5 people show up.
It's really
and they're like, "Well, I guess this is us."
Yeah, that's it.
Everybody else is probably not dead, but they're just hiding in their home. Maybe they don't even know. Maybe they've got their radio turned off.
It would have been an amazing scene if the fog had rolled into the visual and people were just getting everybody's getting murdered. That would be so cool. The sheriff's like, and he gets his arm sliced off. Oh, you fucker!
He's blasting blood into his own mouth and stuff.
That would be awesome. Which I've never seen the new fog, so I don't know if they expand that.
Can't be good, right?
It mustn't be good, but I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
I'll test it out for next week.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll be my panda next time.
Yeah. Ooh, are we there? We're pretty much.
I don't have nothing else bad to say.
This is a great movie. Check it out. It's one of his best. Maybe top 7.
I think top 7. Well, I don't remember our rankings from the years before, but
who the fuck knows?
I know Halloween was up there.
Halloween's way up there. The Thing's way up there.
Halloween, The Thing.
For me, Big Trouble in Little China is way up there.
Oh yeah, that's number 3.
Almost all of them are up there. I just love them all.
Not Mouth of Madness. What was it called?
In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh, that's what it was. That one was crazy.
It's tough because everyone you watch could be the best one.
Yeah.
Other than the really bad ones, but all the good ones, you're like. You watch Assault on Precinct 13, you're like, this could be his best movie.
It's pretty awesome.
This might be his best movie.
It's if you break them into categories, that's definitely the best of the non-horrors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. It's this is awesome.
So badass. And the main guy from that is in this as a little doctor.
Yes, as a little doctor.
Shows his range.
And the doctors in this town just wear plaid. They don't. They don't need to be.
There is one of the great moments that's probably a bad moment actually, but I like it. Is the fact that both the doctor and Tom Atkins have their plaid flannels on, so the entire frame is filled with not matching plaids, and your eyes are kind of like.
It's doing that thing that digital video does.
It's strobing. You're like,
oh, God. Yeah.
It's like you're in the big sphere in Vegas. You're just like, oh fuck, this is fucking crazy. But we can't only watch The Fog for Carpentober.
No, no. We got to watch more things. What's next?
You know what?
Oh, you were talking about Panda. Sorry.
Well, both. Next week we're watching Escape from New York.
Yes, we're about. This is gonna be good. I've only seen that once, so it's been years.
Good.
So I'm excited.
But this week we watched other things, which brings us to a segment we like to call Panda Express Presents Express Yourself About the Movies You Watched This Week. Brother, be in my hand.
Mr. Carpenter. Ding 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 dong ding ding dong ding dong ding ding. Ding ding ding. We got. Sorry. It's time for the Panda Express. I can't do it. How would he sing?
Whose voice is that?
John Carpenter.
Oh.
How would he? Hey, I'm John Carpenter. No, whatever. Panda. Blah blah blah. Watch it. We watched it. Ding dong.
We watched it. He sings a song at the end of Big Trouble.
Oh, he does?
Big trouble in Little China.
What? That's him?
I'm pretty sure that's him.
Amazing.
Yeah, good.
Much
good song.
better than when Clint Eastwood sang Gran Torino. That is horrific.
Does he sing a song great?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I must have completely blocked it out.
He's like, me and my Gran Torino. It's like, what? I have very interesting.
I have many friends who are in the Hmong community, and they shot me dead because I was trying to help my Gran Torino.
Well, I'm dead. The end. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, he's Jesus for some reason. Very weird movie. I watched last night. Probably a little too late, I'll be honest.
Uh-oh.
Watched Saw X.
Oh my gosh.
Watched
wow.
the new Saw X, and it might not have been that good because I did fall asleep a little bit. But it was very late.
Uh-huh.
I will say the gag on the poster with the tubes on the eyeballs.
Does that happen?
Is fucking awesome.
Really?
It's fucking
That
awesome.
is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, it's just John Kramer having a dream.
Oh, okay.
But it's weird. He sees this guy who's like stealing from a guy who's in the hospital.
Uh-huh.
He's like an orderly who steals from a guy in the hospital. And then John Kramer's like, and they play the harp. They don't play the harp music, but essentially they play the harp music. And the guy is in the chair. He's got tubes on his eyeballs. And he's got in one hand, he's got a little turny thing. In the other hand, they're all connected to wires. And he's like, all you have to do is scroll through the different numbers, and you'll be able to fix your sticky fingers or something. And each time he moves to like a different number, it like cracks back one of his fingers.
Oh my gosh.
It's fucking insane.
Wow.
It just goes, and he's like, "Oh God!" But
did something come down the tubes?
No, it's so much
just
worse than that.
Oh God.
Of course, he doesn't get to it. He could never.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have plenty of time. He has like 3 minutes. I don't know why he doesn't do it.
Oof.
I would break all my fingers so fast.
Well, if after they're all broken, you're fine. Right?
Yeah.
Just break them all immediately.
I think they just fix it. I mean, it's not that hard to fix fingers, right?
Just break them all.
But the tubes are connected to a vacuum.
Oh my God.
Which sucks out his
Are you serious?
eyeballs.
Holy
It's amazing.
hell.
It's an all-time great Saw gag. It's so fucked up.
That's just a dream.
Yeah, it was just a dream.
If only.
It was all a dream.
It was all a dream. I could never make that in my dream.
Yeah, I wish.
I wish I could.
I'll have to
suck
make a reverse bear trap instead, and it rips your head open.
I'll do. Yeah, that one seems a little too cruel.
Yeah.
Because I vaguely remember the third one.
Yeah.
And that was his big problem. He was like, your traps are too cruel. There's like no way to get out.
Yeah.
And that one seems pretty fucked
That
up. I mean, they're
one's-
all fucked up, but like,
Yeah.
it's like, jeez.
That one's really, yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
It's very cool.
It does seem cool.
Also, somehow the vacuum has like a little display window.
Are you serious?
So you can see like the eyeball plonk down.
my God.
It's awesome. I need to watch it again just for that and leave the theater immediately.
Yeah.
There might be good stuff, and I might have just been too sleepy.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lady who has to cut her own leg off.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
With she's got like that wire, that special bone.
Oh, we love a good bone cutting wire.
Yeah, she just cuts it off with a wire. It's really
That is intense.
This one is one of the goriest ones. There's definitely a few spots where I was like, oh no, oh no.
Oh, God.
Just like rant. Okay, so 2 thumbs up, a great movie.
2 thumbs up.
I fell asleep, but it was awesome.
2 thumbs up, cross in the shape of an X, baby. Saw X. Go see it in the theater. I did not watch any gory movies, but I did watch a few movies.
Ooh.
Because I was visiting my friends.
This is new.
We watched lots of movies. Yeah, it is. It is new. We watched the first Austin Powers, which I have to say, so surprised, still holds up and is very funny.
I believe that.
I was like, this is really good.
I think most of his movies hold up pretty well.
I think they're great. Now, I will say we watched the second one. Not as good.
Goldmember's the third one, right?
Yeah, the Spy
I
Who
think
Shagged Me
Goldmember's
is the second
still good,
one.
right?
I don't know. I haven't seen it in years.
I'm
but
guessing it's still good.
The second one just like they reuse way too many jokes, and some of the bits are just like.
Is that the Beyonce one?
That's the third one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the second one's got the lady.
Is it Heather Graham?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's in it. It just didn't quite work, but the first one's great. And then
Take
of course
that, Mike
we
Myers.
watched Jurassic Park.
Oh,
Incredible movies. My friend had never seen it all the way, and I was
What?
like, we have to.
it's
watch
it's
this.
so fucking good.
Yeah. Amazing.
Friend of the show, Gary, and I went to see it in 3D,
wow.
and it was really great.
I got to see it in IMAX when they put it out.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it was in 3D though.
it's really
Was
cool.
it? No,
I mean,
don't think so.
regular is the way to see it.
Yeah.
because that's the way the movie was made. But 3D is it's also a pretty good 3D conversion.
Oh, the
But it's just such a
Velociraptors.
great movie.
Every scene is just so cool.
It's so fucking
God.
cool.
That movie, and it was so cool to see it with someone who hadn't seen it before.
Yeah.
And like, my favorite moment was when Laura Dern resets the electricity thing.
Yeah.
The boy gets shocked, which is just
Yeah.
like, it's just probably one of the few movies that was doing stuff where like kids are like in danger.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
probably surprised a lot of people. But maybe not the first, but like
Yeah.
90s. I
Yeah.
don't know how often that was happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, but my friend's reaction to it when she's like, we got the power back on, and then the raptor like comes out, and then the arm falls.
Oh
It's
my
just like
God.
amazing. It's so ugh.
that movie's so fucking
It
scary.
rules.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
really
like,
scary movie, and I think
Awesome.
it's weird because Spielberg is so successful,
Yeah.
but like just like truly one of the great horror filmmakers.
Jaws as
Jaws
well.
fucking
Jaws
scary.
I would
Jurassic
love
Park's
to see him
fucking
do
scary.
a scary movie again.
Yeah.
That would be so interesting.
Like a lot of his thrillers are pretty scary. Like
yeah.
War of the Worlds is pretty
Oh,
scary.
yeah, it is. I love that movie.
But like a lot of his different, like Duel is a great.
Oh, I didn't
It's
see
like
that.
his first kind of movie, and
Ooh.
it's basically like Jaws, except the shark is a Big Mac truck.
Oh, yes.
Rules.
Okay, yes. I've heard of this.
But yeah, just so many good scary movies.
Dang, we got to get him back on the horror
Munich
train.
is obviously not a horror
Yeah,
movie, but it's
pretty
incredibly
intense.
thrilling. You're just like, oh my fucking god, no!
This.
That's good.
Never saw War Horse, but it seemed pretty intense.
I am the only world's living Warhorse fan, and I think it's an amazing movie.
See, I thought I was the only War of the Worlds fan, but I think there's more.
No, War of the Worlds rules.
'Cause I remember when it came out, people were like dissing it, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What?"
I think, it was a weird time. We were like, yeah, Spielberg's made like 18 straight good movies. He must suck now.
Yeah, somehow.
But he has made a lot of shit. We have to give him that. He's
What's
made...
his worst movie, you think?
that stuff.
Lincoln?
I love
I
Lincoln.
never saw it.
No, Lincoln rules. The BFG is quite bad.
Oh, I forgot about that.
BFG is
That
quite
looked horrible.
bad. It's
It
quite
looked
bad.
horrible from the get-go.
Ready Player One is
Oh, he
kind of
I
rough.
forgot he did that.
Kind of rough.
I don't like that movie.
Kind of rough. But it's not as bad as the BFG.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
BFG is pretty miserable. I don't know. He's made a lot of bad movies, but
Yeah.
he's also made most of the good
But his
movies
ratio
ever.
is so much.
It's a good ratio. Like, I mean,
can't
like
all be good.
8 to 10, 9 to 10 maybe. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 times, you're going to love a Spielberg flick.
Yeah. Pick them at random. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Bridge of Spies. You get Bridge of Spies, you're going to have a great time.
I've never seen it.
I got it in the room. We can watch it right now. Tweet at us if you want to watch Bridge of Spies with us. You can't watch it now because it's Carpentober.
Yes,
Next week, we will watch Escape from New York. And the week after that, we will watch Escape from L.A. And the week after that, we will watch for a final film of Carpentober. And maybe we can even rank them all.
Yes.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China.
We can do like a top 5 so we don't have to rank them all.
Yeah, that's not.
Big Trouble in Little China, which sometimes I think is my favorite. Even though it's probably not the best. It's just so much fun.
It's so much fun. The practical. I'm so excited.
You just have so much fun. The fighting's so cool.
Kurt Russell.
One of the great Kurt Russell performances.
Can't beat it.
Kurt Russell is just an adult who's bad at everything, and he's the hero, and his Chinese friend does all the good things. It's great.
I think he may be one of the best action comedy people ever.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's one of the many reasons that I'm so sad about The Rock. Is because he should have done the same thing.
The next Kurt
he
Russell.
Shouldn't be serious. He shouldn't be like, I'm the fucking Rock. I've never made a joke in my whole fucking life.
It's like, what are you doing?
You fucking asshole.
Yeah, why is Hobbs and is he Hobbs or Shaw?
No clue. I've seen that movie.
Well, whichever one he is, he's way too serious.
Yeah.
At the end of Fast and Furious, spoiler alert, he's there, and I was like, why? Yeah. He should
so
be
weird.
like a silly, charming guy.
Yeah.
That's why he worked in, what is that movie where at the beginning he's like is it The Other Guys? Where it's him and Kevin Hart or something?
No, that's the guys. It's some...
The one with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
That's The Other Guys.
At the beginning, there's these two hero cops.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And they just jump off a building and die.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is the perfect role. Just be a goofy, dumb
He
cop.
should be in that. We're sorry.
We're sorry.
Tweet at us at Food Courtcast. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week for more Carpentober.
Yes, happy Carpentober.
On behalf of Michael Hampton, I am Sean Parrott saying to you, Bon Appetit.